Okay, so the time is, I don't know what the time is.
6:33.
6:33. We'll call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville to order. Just to make an announcement in the work session, the mayor is not here tonight because he is home in bed, still sick. He's just got some kind of nasty bug that won't let go. All right, so let's review the regular business and public hearing agenda items. We'll have the invocation with Grace Church, you said?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Roger will say the pledge, ceremonial matters. We've got swearing in of 2 police officers. Melissa or Chief, you have the oath?
I'll have them here, they'll be here.
Okay. First Baptist Church is going to do a presentation of a plaque to Kelly McAloon
And volunteers.
and volunteers. Then we'll have the approval of the minutes. Were there any issues with the minutes?
Nope.
All right, so we'll just
Oddly enough, everything was spelled correctly.
we'll take a motion to approve the minutes. And no invited guests. We've got committee department reports. As far as I know, we'll have Board of Appeals with Marcy, Art Commission,
Brittany Washington's.
not here tonight. Then we'll have Snellville Tourism and Trade, and the Snellville Youth Commission.
Your person for SYC will be Alicia Owens,
Oh,
Owens. Her first name is spelled Alicia, just for the record.
And the last name is?
Owens,
Owens.
Owens.
that was too easy, the Owens
Yeah,
part.
I know,
Threw
we
me off.
wanted to complicate it.
But she doesn't say it Alicia? How does it?
No, Alicia. Alicia. I want to say Alicia.
Ms. Owens, too.
It's not. Alicia.
Okay, and then we have nothing on the public hearing, no consent, no old business. Under new business, we have consideration and action on approval of resolution agreement with the Georgia Department of Transportation for roadway lighting assistance for 78-124.
And that is a resolution and an agreement. They go together this is part of the 78-124 project. This will be lighting along Clower as well as through town on 78. And if you want to get lighting, you agree to pay the cost, the monthly cost. And that's basically what this is.
Now, actually, and the DOT's paying for the equipment and the installation.
Absolutely.
We just pay operation
That's
and maintenance
correct.
after
That's
it's
it.
all installed.
That's it.
And these are LEDs that conform to city code.
These will be, we're still hoping to get a little better lighting. We're gonna get the best that we can, but this is the foundation. You have to have this to move forward.
Okay, anybody have any questions or issues with that? And then we'll have the confirmation for Michael Smith to the Youth Commission Advisory Board. Good for that.
Very well qualified coaches in the community, just opened a CPA firm.
Will he be here
He's
tonight?
involved.
Will he be here?
I don't believe he had a conflict at 8 o'clock, so he's cutting it a little bit close. But if you want to, of course, Butch has his application, but I have his app right here if anybody wants to look at it. He's been working with the kids as a volunteer for a little while now.
I'll take one. What is this, just?
There's only one copy. So he's
Okay,
running
then
out
we'll
of
do
paper.
council reports, the mayor pro tem report, since there won't be a mayor
Barbara.
report. And public comment. Anything else on that? Okay, then we'll go to the work session agenda, item number 3. Any correspondence?
No?
Any report from the city attorney?
We just need a executive session with all 3 purposes: personnel, land, and litigation.
Okay. All right. And then discussion items, lapel pins. Tom had mentioned at a previous meeting about getting new lapel pins with the new city logo on it. Butch has some samples of the epoxy.
This is the epoxy coated, and this is the non-coated.
Just so everybody could get a feel for what they want is or what's being suggested is that epoxy coated, so it's that smooth cover on the top.
What's the difference in cost?
That I don't know, but I do have the cost for the epoxy domed ones.
Ooh.
For $1,500, it's $1.35 a piece, and for $2,500, it's $1.25 a piece. Take 3 weeks after production, and there's no setup charges.
The epoxy ones, if some of you maybe remember the things we got for Amy Copeland, remember those were the inset epoxy type, so.
Yeah, I think the
They
epoxy's
can be a
look
little
better.
more detailed, they can be a little more 3D type
Yeah.
than they are just one, 2D like that. You can have a little more colorful. And I don't think the cost now for this is probably within 10 or 15 cents.
Yeah.
So is everybody good with the epoxy coated,
Sure.
Will they
or
send the sample? I mean, what's it gonna look like? Or is it just the cupola? Is
yeah,
that just that?
it'll have that logo on it. Is it gonna be you know?
Yeah, I mean, he sent that to me and it'll look, I mean, that's why I put on there, that's a little larger.
Yeah.
I couldn't get
Oh,
it to
okay.
be like an inch.
Gotcha.
Measuring other lapel pins, I mean, to be about an inch is what we want it to be. I can ask for a sample, but Tom specifically asked for that epoxy dome on there, versus not having it. And it was
An inch,
And
like
it's just
really
two
big?
color?
An inch for the lapel pin. Most lapel pins,
Yeah.
Is that an inch?
that
That's-
one's a little bigger.
Yeah, that's a little bit larger.
Or you can have it the size that you see it visually right there on the paper.
Which
That's
is,
I think that's too big.
the lines that I have next to it measure an inch, and that comes down to 1/8 of an inch below.
yeah, it's a little larger than an inch. A little wider too.
I think that shape will stand out. Yeah.
Is it just two colors? Is it
That's all
maroon
Tom
and-
asked for it. He wanted,
Just-
he made that
okay,
banner, yeah,
Here, who asked for it? I'm just saying,
yeah,
is it just two color,
Yeah.
just maroon and gold?
yeah.
Because that fits with the logo that
Yeah,
we
that's
adopted
consistent
all
with
the
what we're
time.
doing, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So is everybody good with that?
Yep.
All right. Then next step is you'll get a proof, or this is the proof.
That's probably all you'll get.
Because they send it overseas to do them, I don't know if we'll get, I mean, it might take longer if you want to have that one,
Oh, okay.
you know, that.
So we just order it from here and we're good to go. Okay, so how many of y'all want to go with? Got 1,500 or 2,500 are the prices we have?
The difference is a dime a piece,
Dime a
right?
piece,
Yeah.
So the difference. It's either,
I go with 1,500 and see how they go.
Melissa, how many of the old ones do we still have that we need to do something with?
Oh, you asked me that before, Robin, I forgot to look. They're in the closet upstairs, I'm sorry.
1,400.
I know we have a lot of, I know we have a lot of the really, really old, the Live, Work, Play logo, but, maybe I'm
I just
guessing.
think we need to have a plan. Barbara made a
Yeah.
good suggestion tonight too with regard to those, is having a small box of them of some sort, easily accessible from the dais, that they could be given out as trinkets or whatever as we're doing certain things, so.
I think, if Boy Scouts come up
What
to
do we
say
have
the
to give
pledge,
them?
they should have one.
Well, I just don't think we need to order
Yes.
1,500, we got 300 of the old ones sitting on the shelf. I think we need to purge anything that we
Yeah.
can old wise. Let's just, say our goodbyes and move it on and start doing the new stuff.
Yep.
Okay, I gave myself a big note, so.
So let's, y'all want to go with 1,500 then for this round?
Not me.
Sure.
1,500, I mean,
Okay, got that?
start putting them out, people start seeing them, the first 1,500 will probably go pretty
Have them
quick.
at city events.
Well, I think your youth
And the
commission, I
tables.
think all of
Yeah,
your
we
youth
start
commission needs
selling
to
them.
have them.
Sure.
Yeah, volunteer.
Volunteers, we have a lot
Come on,
of.
Kurt, just give me time, give me a minute, for crying out
Who's
loud.
working?
All right, so we'll move on to the update of ongoing projects, which,
We will, starting with the town center, we have held a couple of meetings with what I call the greater development community. People from Rosser. We have another meeting set up with Mark Toro from North American to sort of look at best practices and what has come before us to make sure we're on the right track, or to, just to get some confirmation. And I think it has been pretty good confirmation. At least from the Rosser folks and the other folks we've talked to. Eric, is there anything specific we need to bring up about that? I'm gonna work on another meeting with John McDonough from Sandy Springs, who, they're actually into construction of their town center. And we can take some folks there and meet with John, but so far so good, I think, there.
yeah, Rosser is the group that did the symposium that I think
Yeah.
Dave was able to go to. I don't know that anybody else was able to make it. Eric went, but Sandy Springs is doing a big, they call it City Springs,
Yeah,
isn't it?
City Springs,
A
$250 million.
huge project up there, big auditorium and all sorts of stuff, and residential and a big park, but the Rosser folks and then John Fisk with another JB&A were kind enough to come down and spend about 2 hours with us, just kind of reviewing what we did, what we had as far as our drawings go, and so they were very gracious with their time, and it was good.
They posed a lot of good questions.
Yes.
Food for thought kind of things.
Things to be
So I think
looking
it-
out for, yeah.
I think it was very nice of them
Their,
to do
their,
that.
their whole deal was pretty impressive. And they're in the middle of a $250 million project, and they got their hands on it. It's not,
Yeah.
and they have enough of a staff that each
Right.
one has a specialty in there.
Right.
Seemed very confident.
The joint city and county plans, the library plan is in hand. Once again, we're waiting on the SPLOST election. I think there's supposed to be some conversations taking place between Tom and Tommy Hunter, so we can sort of work that into our marketing plan. Public relations, marketing, and town center. Brian, I want to give Brian Arrington a few minutes to talk about the Public Works Department draft or mock-up of their brochure. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, there was a desire, I suppose, to have a Public Works brochure about their recycling, and this is, cut kind of rough, and there's glue on the inside and out, but if you want to flip through, it's 8 pages, and it has the details in and out on how to recycle, what they take at the recycling center, information about the new garbage haulers, and the, basically everything you want to know about Snellville Public Works recycling. So I got, it's full color, it'll be glossy, and Bobby has to get some quotes on the recycled material to use for the brochure, so I have all those numbers as well, from 1,000 to 2,000 to 5,000 pieces. So I guess right now I want y'all to take a look and see if we're on the right track, if there's anything we want to change, add, stuff like that. I mean, I think our previous brochure has been well received and well utilized, and thanks to the volunteers and stuff for handing those out at all the events. And so, I mean, I know there's quite a few black and white pages that Public Works uses, and this probably be something more attractive and more fun to utilize. So.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I just think, just like the first one that we had, that had the color strips and you could turn to the information page you were looking at, I think that shape and that, it's gonna attract attention.
Oh, yeah.
It's catchy.
Yeah,
You
very
know?
much.
Yeah, I think
I
you
can't
guys
wait
have
till
done
it
a great
gets to
job on that.
If you had that sitting at home on your kitchen counter, you would find it. You would know what it was when you saw it.
Yeah, you can get a hold of those pesky Public Works people.
Yeah.
They're always, if I get one call a day, it's people who want to speak to Public Works, so I think this will be a way to kind of be a middleman and.
And we get these things out and, we're gonna answer their questions. They may cut down on those calls.
Very good.
Very nice.
Good deal.
Thanks, Brian.
You
Good
got it.
job.
Good deal, guys. Tree replacement,
Is
once
one-
again, we've been through,
Is this an actual size?
the
That
court
would be an
system.
actual size.
Okay, I didn't know if that's an actual size.
Those will fit in our brochure racks just like the other ones do.
Okay.
That's a big can, but you know.
And we're still in conversation with DDR as far as when they come to the planning commission. And
They've
Carry on.
submitted, they're getting ready to submit their paperwork. They promised Jason, when they met with him, it'd be done before the deadline.
Correct.
Good deal. On track. Town hall meetings, once again, we're on track for the 19th. I don't know if y'all have seen the, I guess the sign template that is up on Lenora Church at the, it was constructed by Lisa's staff. It's a beautiful wooden sign that we will put our information in. I'm going to get a couple to advertise the town hall. Everybody's going to be able to use that. I hope we have a lot of those around. But just take a look at that at the just not the Marigold entrance, but the next entrance. And Kurt and Gretchen, I know they talked to you about blocking your sign temporarily, but it was only for before the last market. So appreciate your cooperation on that. Moving on, just a reminder for the Snellville 101, we need to get applications in, and I think you guys have, the only sheet you have to worry about is that one-page application. So make some phone calls.
It's easier raising money.
Okay.
The UDO, we have a draft from Caleb, which the staff is reviewing. We're still on track. I think everybody's made some notes. It's been very busy on Jason and John, the big senior development.
Can I get a copy of the draft?
What's that?
Can I
It's
get a
just for the
copy?
town center too, by the way.
Yeah.
The ordinances and stuff, right?
Hmm?
Like the ordinances Caleb's working on?
Yeah, just the town center one, but
Yeah.
not the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, he hasn't done the whole thing yet?
This was the first piece, remember, we pushed it out front.
But I'll get that to y'all.
Okay.
We just wanted to have a chance to go over it and see if there were any big problems with it. But Caleb does good work. It needs some refinement, but the layout is good. It's very customer friendly, and I'll get that to y'all. Charter Review Committee, I know the meetings are continuing there. I think there's some conversation that will be talked about later on, but I'm glad the group is still getting together. eBay sales, there's really no change there.
Butch, is it possible that we actually put some kind of a date on this thing I'm just afraid that now we're into September, October, we're gonna be into January, February before
You know,
we've
with
done
what
anything else.
with what we've got left, I tell you, give me 60 days.
How about 45?
45 days, okay.
Okay.
He'd go for 60.
All right. Recreation and senior planning, all, the Oak Road Park should be out for bid this week. I continue to hear positive things about the meeting that we held with the seniors. I think we've answered a lot of questions regarding SPLOST there. So I think that continues to be positive.
Have they received any progress on the park, like the park within the park? The little...
On the design, the final design?
No, there was like some part of the middle where they were gonna, playground or something.
Oh, yes. The Lisa and the designer have come to an agreement on the type of facility, the playground that would, everything's gonna be very natural there. It won't be real colorful equipment. It's going to be, natural colors, brown, green, that fits in with the tree and forested area. So just like the, not the gazebo, but the pavilion will just blend into the natural area.
Can Lisa forward me a copy?
I sure will. I sure will. I'll get that out before the bid goes out. Roundabout construction, we are working with the.
Can we go back to the senior center? Is there any additional conversation about access to the senior center that I raised 2 weeks ago?
It is, we just need to sit down when you get some time and clarify that we will not have that problem again.
Okay.
We're not gonna have that problem again. And, I mean, I've made that clear to them. You know, we just need to sit down with you and explain that, you know, the changes that are gonna be made. But we are not gonna have that problem again.
Probably need to, whatever you come up with, just get that down into a written policy so that we'll all know.
So,
Test the theory.
And there's
Yeah.
some concern also about just regular access to the senior center. If I experience that kind of issue, what do other people experience?
if there is, if you know of anything specific like that.
Not specifically, but
I
I can,
wanna hear about it.
yeah.
Because there's no need for that. That's easily manageable. So,
Okay.
but maybe we'll just bring a presentation back to the whole council.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
And if there's anything that Youth Commission can do to have some input, we'd be happy to do it.
Okay. Roundabout construction, we are working with the appraiser on some of the numbers that he's come up with. So to make things go a little smoother, we've acquired half of the parcels on North, and now we're down to the more difficult ones. So it's moving, but I want to make sure those numbers are right. The Oak Road sidewalk, they're out there working. They have 2 retaining walls that should be poured in the next couple days. A lot of driveways have been put in. I met with a couple of property owners on Saturday morning about a couple of issues with the steepness of the driveway. When we had to slope the sidewalks back towards the roadway so water would stay in the curb and gutter, it did put a little crown on a couple of those driveways. So we might have to mill those down, but we satisfied one group, and we're working on the other right now. 78 and 124, we have the item on the agenda tonight for your approval. All I can tell you is GDOT continues in right-of-way acquisition. Residential annexation, I will have a draft letter for you. I'll send it out before the next meeting for y'all to review. Basically a general letter to property owners talking about where we're going in the future residentially for annexation. Mayor and Council Planning Retreat, we will go back to UGA on the 7th of January, and I think Melissa's working on all the details there. The Town Plaza, I know that Michael, I think, is still gathering some information, Bobby.
Yeah, and I'll be talking to him this week, so
Okay.
we're already scheduled to talk.
All
See
right.
where he's at. Sugar Hill, I reached out to Sugar Hill, and they give me some information, so.
Okay.
Okay, so that takes care of the work session. Does anybody have anything else that they need to bring up? Okay, then we've got time, so we'll go to the exec session. During the work session of the mayor and city council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Pro Tem Bender announced that certain matters should be discussed in a closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting.